we'll get on with the program today. Today is my presidential plans for the upcoming year. I think there is like 112 slides, so it shouldn't take more than a couple hours. But you guys did make a mistake. You guys elected a salesperson to be the president, and then you give him a mic. As my wife says, I never shut up, so that's why she gave me a second date. I talked the entire first date. So, as you can see, we talked a little bit about it. The theme for this year is create hope in the world. So my question is make everybody think for a second, why did you join? Why did you join our club? What was it that brought you here? Me, it was Rocky. Everybody, a lot of people know Rocky. I think Don Schaefer went to Rocky and said, you need to have a member in the club. And Rocky goes, hey, Jason, go to this club meeting with Rocky or with Don Schaefer. And I said, okay. I said, I don't really know anybody, and I walked in, actually knew people in here. So, and it honestly was the best decision. And I tell everybody that when you move to town or if you're moving away, look for a Rotary Club. It's a great way to get involved in the community. It's a great way to meet people, make friends, because it's a little scary moving to a town where you don't know somebody. And I've done it 3 times now. So it gets a little easier each time. But then when you think about why you joined, why are you still here? What is it? What's kept you here? I mean, I know that people get busy. I've got 2 kids that play soccer. I've got work that gets busy. I've got all this stuff going on. I love every Thursday is my favorite day. It's not that we're coming to a meeting or listening to a speaker. This is my break away from the office, except for the next 52 weeks. And I've got another job. But I want people to think back, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, like, hey, we got to get back to where we were, having fun and doing that, and think about that. Why did you join? Why are you here? And then help me get back to that. If you see something that you guys want, that we're not doing or we used to do in the past, something you like, let me know. It's something that I'm here for you guys. I'm here to, I've got a great list of committees. We're going to meet here in a couple weeks. Got a lot of new faces that are going to jump on committees. So I know I've got an excited bunch. We want to have an exciting year. So really excited about kind of where we're going to go over the next calendar year. I mentioned in the past, this is kind of my theme for myself. Is remember the past, but focus on the future. We've got a long-standing club. We've done amazing things for a very long time, and we do it day in, day out. But things are changing. We know that. We see it everywhere in the world. Things are different than they were a few years ago. I mean, and we'll get to there. Look at our club. We're missing some amazing people that were part of us. Things have changed. So I think we've got to change with them. It's important that if we don't start to look at where we're going and look at the future and where we're going, like as a club, we're going to continue to see that. And I don't want that. I don't want that on my watch. I know Asher doesn't want that on hers. So now is that time to really look at what we're doing, how we're doing it, and really look forward to the future. Where do we start? The vision. What is our vision? I know we did one, I think it was 2015, 2016, when Matt was president. I know Adam was going to do one in 2020, and we all know things kind of got put on hold there. We're going to do a visioning session with the district council. They've got a visioning committee. I've already had a meeting with them. And so we're going to start that and start to look at our next 3, 5, 7 years of where we're going as a club. So what I'm going to be doing is we're going to have a meeting with them. I'm going to get about 20 to 25 people with a cross section of our club to make sure we have people from all walks of the club, whether you've been here for 1 year or you've been here for 30 years. I want a good cross section of people. if that's something that you're interested in, that you'd like to be a part of, feel free to reach out, let me know. Because if not, I'll be like Tom Simpson and I'll start calling people. And I've got some people in mind to do that, but I'm excited for that. I think we need it. We need to really look at it. It's been quite a while. And again, I say it a lot, things have changed, and I see it every day at work. So I'm excited for that, to kind of see it. That's a big thing for me, is to kind of put my mark that we're going back on the right trajectory, and continue growing forward and gaining membership and doing that. So the visioning is something that's not part of my goals. It's just something I'm passionate about and think that is going to be good for our club. Why do we need vision? We talk about it every year. I was looking at Kelly's from a couple of years ago, and hers were a lot more drastic when her boxes were. It gave me a little bit of a nervous tick, so I decided to make mine. They're still the same one, except I just have not as many gaps in between, so it didn't make me feel. But we've seen it. When I started, we were at 169. We're currently at 122, going as of last night, and might be at 121 as of today. So, we've seen that trend, and it's time to stop that trend. And I think that's why the visioning is important. People join for different various reasons. I remember I had somebody that I thought was going to be a great Rotarian, and I think I need to look her up, but I think she worked at Maui Gym, and we got her all the way through the process. And then she asked me one simple question: do we do anything international? And I said, we currently do not. And then she goes, I'm not interested. And I was like, oh, okay. But we do things local. Yeah, international is my passion. Okay. So we've got to look at that. So that is, I think we talk about it every year, and I'll talk a little bit about it more here throughout my presentation. But that's kind of where it's, outside of 2018 or 17-18, we've had a drop, and it's a drastic drop. You think 169 to 122, where we've lost 25% of our members. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of good that can be done in our community. So I'm excited. I'm glad to see we got members here. That's something that we're all a part of. We all are part of the membership. I know there'll be a membership committee that is in charge of that, but we're all part of that committee, inviting people, thinking about what it is, talking it up to Rotary. I don't think I do it enough. I talk to people about it, but I need to ramp mine up, because I know a lot of people that would be great members with us. I just got to get them here. And I think we all can look at ourselves and go, hey, I know somebody. Find somebody, bring somebody in. Because on average, we lose probably 18 to 19 members a year. When you think about it from that perspective, that's a lot of new members. So we got to look at it. And the only reason I know that is because when I was on a tram in Australia, I was talking to a district governor nominee from North Carolina, and he asked me how big my club was, and I told him kind of where we're at, and he goes, you lose about 18 to 19 a year. And I'm like, how did you know that? And he was like, it's just the average based on that club size. And I go, and we started talking, and he told me, he goes, I've got 50 clubs in my district. 20 of them have 20 or less members, and they are dropping drastically. And he goes, so when I become the district governor, the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to have a funeral, because that's what's going to happen if we don't change. And I was like, I might drive to North Carolina to see that. I mean, but he's not wrong. It's time to look at what we do. Because this is why, I think everybody looks at it. Everybody looks at our numbers. We're very blessed. We've got our local foundation, like Cam said. We've got an executive director. I honestly, for the last 6 months, when I would be on these calls, I felt a little uncomfortable hearing how all these other club presidents and secretaries and treasurers, all these clubs had to do stuff that we don't have to because we have the luxury of having a large club and having Joanne, and she does a tremendous job. And so, I looked at it and go, I don't know if I could do this if Joanna wasn't here. So I know we'll see how she feels about that by the end of the year. We're one day in and she's still smiling, so that's a good thing. So I've set it up into two secondary goals, secondary goals and main goals. And secondary goals, Kelly's probably cringing here because I've had a lot of people tell me, Jason, pick 3 things. I do have my 3, maybe 4, but there's other things I want to keep top of mind throughout the year that we're working on.
I actually said 2.
I can't add. I heard 4. So versus membership, I'm not going to sit up here and say, hey, let's have a +3 or a +5. I don't think that's obtainable. I don't like to set those kind of goals out. My goal is be net zero, that we don't go down. That is my goal at the end of the year. If we go above, that's awesome. But I don't want to see that trend continue. I want to stop that trend this year where it's got that gradual decrease down. So that's for one thing. Socials. I miss the socials. I mean, I love playing golf and doing that, but there's nothing more than I like than getting together with people and just having fun. And I think when I first joined, I couldn't wait to when I saw a social on the agenda. When somebody talked about it, I'm like, dude, I'm clearing my calendar. I don't care what it is. I'm going to be there. That's something we're going to try to get back to. One's just the goal. I mean, if we can get more fun stuff, I think we all like to have fun, work hard, play hard. I know we all got things going on, but fun is what is part of why a lot of us are here. I mean, we're here to give back, but we can give back and we can also have a lot of fun and do it together. I actually met a lady from a club I forgot where she told me now. They have 7 meetings a month. They have, They have a breakfast, 3 lunches, a dinner, a happy hour, and I can't remember what the other one was. But I was like, wow, that's a lot. But they were a smaller club, so it's a lot easier that they could all go and she said it was just easier for us. We love hanging out together. And so that really caught me off guard. I was like, wow, 7. That's a lot. When you think about it, but getting back to the socials and finding things that everybody likes. I know that's going to be a tough thing, but when we announce our committees, like if you have ideas on what is interest to you, I mean, we've done things in the past where it was bowling. I still remember going bowling at midnight, I think at Mount Holly, when I was in my 1st or 2nd year, like doing those things together. I know that it's hard to get. Trust me, I know I got thousands of people coming to the ballpark. I'm not going to make them all happy. I know it's going to be hard to pick one thing and I'm going to see all 122 people going, you nailed that one on the head. But we need to have a variety of things so that way it touches everybody and it gets everybody engaged. That's what I'd like to see is I would challenge everybody. I said 1 a month, make 1 social this year. Make that your goal. Make it to 1 social. And have fun with us because we're going to have a fun year. Service projects. They did a great job this year with service projects. There's always great projects out there. Part of them, we also need to have a variety of when they are. It can't always be during the work day. I'd love to be able to work during the day. And people always say, well, you're the boss, just leave. Could. But then I may not like what I see when I get back. So I got Jim and I got Lindsay on that committee, and I know they're both excited for it. I know we're going to have a lot of different ideas flowing through, but that's where I think people can come in too, is I don't see everything out there where there's opportunities to volunteer. You know, if you see things, if there's something that you're connected to that we can be a part of, let me, let Jim, let Lindsay know. So that way we can be a part of it. I mean, I remember again, when I first started the Special Olympics bowling, I love that. I don't remember the last time we've done it. You know, yeah, since COVID, yeah. Yeah, I love doing that. I used to take my kids, and they loved that day, you know, taking my two boys. And again, they were younger back then. They didn't know any difference between them and the kids that we were helping. They just had a lot of fun. And that's part of it too, is I look around and I know people have kids and they have you know, we have significant others. We want to find some things that we can do as a family too. Bring your significant other, bring your kids, you know, try to do a variety of things. So that way, again, we try to find something for everybody. You know, that's going to be the goal. Find something to do that. So again, when I think about it, make it a goal to make one service project this year. As a Rotarian, as a part of our club, challenge yourself to make one. I will challenge that committee to have a variety of times, so that way people, whether it be day, night, weekends, try to give opportunities so there's something for everybody. But I challenge all of you to be a part of it. The more hands we get out, the more change that we're going to do in our community. And again, if you see things, let us know. I'm not going to pretend to see it all. There's things that happen in this community all the time, and I'm like, how do I find out about that? I missed it. Oh, I would have went to that event, or I would have done that. I missed it. So this is just one for me, branding merch. I don't know. Outside of my service club, my service t-shirt, and this is my fault. I will take blame on it. I could have went and bought a t-shirt or bought a polo. We've talked about the board doing something where there's merchandise in order for us, for our club. Because when I went to Melbourne, I walked around with Randy, the president for downtown, and I told him, I said, man, I feel a little weird that I don't have anything that's repping my club. Like, it just doesn't feel right. You know, I'm so used to wearing Chief stuff everywhere. I mean, Chiefs is all of my closet is. I might have a couple Missouri polos, but I don't know that I have anything that's not Missouri Tigers or Chiefs in my closet. And so that's something we're going to look at this year, is putting a list together and letting people, again, it's going to be a voluntary thing. But I figured if it was something that I thought of, that there's got to be other people out there thinking the same thing. Hey, I don't have anything. I should do that. Because when we're out in the community, it's a great way to bring up Rotary. Oh, what's that? You know, so what are you wearing there? And that gives us a chance to talk to them about what we do. Interact and Rotaract. I think there's ways for us to foster those relationships, whether it's inviting them to be a part of our things that we do, them inviting us to be a part of theirs. But I look at Interact and Rotaract and Rotary just like I look at minor league baseball. Where are my guys trying to get? We're trying to get to St. Louis. We're trying to get those people in Interact to get into Rotaract at college, and then the Rotaractors to become Rotarians. So I think we need to foster that. And there's simple ways that we can do that, I think, where, you know, and I've even said I'll do it. Like for an Interact, we got 2 clubs, finding out the seniors, where are they going to college? And then we look up, do they have a Rotaract? And if not, can we help them connect with somebody there that will help them start one if they get that bug in them? And there's some other things I have ideas with the Interact and Rotaract, but I think it's a great way to build future Rotarians, get them in, let them see what we do, and get the bug. And hopefully, just like when I'm trying to get these little kids that are about that high at the baseball game, I look at them as future season ticket holders. Interact and Rotaract, I looked at them as future Rotarians joining us someday in our club. And if not here, somewhere else, and making an impact in the world. scholarships. You know, I'm not gonna take the credit for this one. I'm gonna bring it back for Kelly. This is something that we talked about when she was president. We've got money in the foundation, but it's got to be educational tied. Looking at, can we expand our reach in what we do with scholarships? Can we think outside the box that we don't currently provide? And so that'll be something that the scholarship committee this year that I'm going to challenge them to. Let's really think outside the box, see if we can really expand what we do. I think we've got the money to do it. We just got to find the right way to spend it. So I won't spend a lot of time on that. There. Collaboration with local clubs. I love working with downtown, don't get me wrong, but there's other clubs here. You know, why aren't we working with Canton and Pekin and Morton? When I was at Pets training, I got a chance to meet the incoming president of Morton, and small world, his wife used to be a suite hostess for me at the ballpark. And I didn't realize who it was at first. And he goes, my wife used to work for you. And I'm like, oh my God, you're Emily's husband. He goes, yep. And I go, so are you the incoming? He goes, yeah, I am. And he goes, why don't we work together? And I was like, dude, I don't know. I said, but we can change that. So we've had some conversations about starting either a monthly or bi-monthly meeting of just the club presidents to try to see what they're doing and connect with that. But I've got an idea that I want to share with them is doing a service above self day where every club does a service project in their own community on the same day, and think about what kind of impact and what kind of reach we can have just on one day. You think about all those different communities. So that's something he and I have talked a little bit about that we're going to try to get rolling this year. Too fast. The last one, and I'm going to look at Sean for a second. Celebrate what we do and the impact in our community. We do not pat ourselves on the back enough for what we do. I know that we don't do it for the recognition, but we need to get it out there. You know, I think we talked a little bit at the club, like, hey, getting the news out of what we're doing in our community. You know, doesn't always have to be a story on the news, but if we can get, you know, if I can use the Journal Star, if they can do it online, the more we, and I know people laugh at Journal Star, trust me, I get it. I haven't seen the Journal Star at my stadium since 2018, maybe. So we need to let people know what we're doing, because if people see what we're doing, it's going to catch somebody's eye and they're going to say, you know what, I want to be a part of that. I should check that out. So that's something that I want to really do, try to work on this year, to where we really get the word out. And I'll be asking Sean for a little bit of feedback on that, because being the news director and different things, kind of some ways that we can accomplish that. All right, my main goals. There's only 7. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Kelly, I took your 2 and my 2, and that's how I got 4.
There we go.
So a community project. The last time we did one was the gazebo here for our 50th anniversary. I know Greg and I have had some conversations we've had at the board level about, we've had Bill Peoria that was here and spoke to us. And we talked a little bit about trying to do something in the community. It's been 5 years since we've done something in the community. We've talked about maybe it's something we can do every 5 years. You know, look at something that we can try to make a bigger impact in our community instead of waiting for another milestone celebration of our club. We don't need that. You know, it's something fun that, I mean, I still remember the the gala we did. You know, I had a blast. I think we're still waiting on the pig roast. at the ballpark. So maybe we need to get on less for that. So, but this is something that we've started and I want to try to work to get to fruition for this year. I know we talked a little bit about Build Peoria. They're done with their voting. It was the Christian Center project. I think the second place one was a thing at the zoo. I don't know if that's something that we're interested in, but I talked a little bit to Nick about, he goes, hey, if you'd rather have the Christian Center one, we'll move back to the zoo. Again, we'll have that conversation, but that is something, again, doing something in our community, making a big impact. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I want to remember at the end of the year is what impact did we have in our community when I was president. Second, an international project. This is something that is big for District Governor Neil Miller. He has challenged all the clubs to look at trying to start an international project with somebody. We had Veronica here a few weeks ago, and I was kind of blown away. I didn't know what to expect, but I left that meeting going, okay, now I see it. I can see that as a project. I mean, and it doesn't have to be this. I mean, but I think there's a great opportunity for us to expand our reach. I don't know if we've ever done an international project. Have we? Or how long has it been?
Other than giving money.
Giving money. So I think, I've talked to Veronica. I know Scott's talked to Veronica. When she gets to Kenya, she's going to try to connect us with a club that is right there where they're going to build and see if we can't start that international project. I think it's something that would be, I would be ecstatic, if we can get that to fruition. I think this is a great opportunity to help somebody and usually when somebody sends a goal in front of me, I'm going to try to find a way to do it. And this was something Neil challenged me. So when he challenged me, I'm like, well, I guess I got to make that happen. So this is another goal for me is an international project. And again, it doesn't have to be the rescue center. If there's really something else and somebody goes, I don't see that, I see something else, let's have a conversation. My door's open. But I think talking to a lot of people, there was a lot of buzz after she spoke that day. And I think that could be, we've got a tie in there. So it's something that we can look at. So this is coming from Australia. So I talked a little bit about Australia. When I was in Australia, it was a roller coaster. To be honest, I was all over the place. I'd have a meeting, I'd go to a presentation and be like, yeah, I'm on top of that. And then I go to another one, I'm like, no, that one's better. I want to do that. My second day there, I went to a Rotaract meeting where they had the presentation by all Rotaract. What it was about, and if a lot of people don't know this, they've changed the age limit for Rotaract in our club. There's no age limit now to be a Rotaract person. So all these clubs around the world have created Rotaracts for young professionals. And I was like, well, then that can kind of competing with what we do. I get it. I see it. I got sold in that moment. 24 hours later, I went to another presentation. I didn't know what it was. It just said Impact Club. And I'm like, well, I like the word impact. So and what it is, it's basically a satellite club. I just don't like the word satellite. I don't think it catches it. And I know impact may not be the right word because I know there's impact clubs here. So it may not be the name of it, but I've researched this since I got back and I've found they've got a worldwide one for people that are around the world that can join this impact club. And this is one in North Carolina that started, and it's a Rotary club. But what it is, and the story behind it, how I got started, is a guy's wife, who's a teacher, wanted to join the local Rotary club. but she went through and they asked her like, well, we meet this time. Are you able to meet? And she goes, well, no, I'm in school. And they're like, you can't be a member. And it made him mad, and it should. I mean, his wife's trying to make an impact, right? And they told her no. And we see that same thing here. When I think about our membership, when I think about kind of who can we not, I mean, we can't really get teachers. It's hard to get teachers here. It's hard to get police, firemen, list goes on and on, right? Because not everybody can meet on Thursday at noon. And we want them to be a part of it. And he started this, and I started going, you know what? That makes sense to me. You know, I see that. Think about who's not part of our club. You know, think about, you know, and why they've left recently. You know, I think about a Ryan Height. My work's busy. My life's busy with my kids. I think about Christine Bear Kemper, works just a little crazy. Renee Charles works just a little crazy. I can't make the weekly commitment. Why are we letting them walk out the door? All we have to do is create this. They are still part of us, and they're still part of our membership. They just don't have to be here as part of our meeting. They have their own meeting. They can meet one time a month. They can do the projects. They can be a part of us. We can be a part of them. It is just a secondary version of what we do. And the way I look at it is kind of like putting, and again, I'm going to use the baseball analogy. It's like putting somebody on the IL because they can't be on our roster. They can go be a part of this one and still be a part of us. And then when things change, they can come back. And I asked Ryan that day, the day that he emailed us and told us, hey, I'm resigning effective immediately. I said, hey, can I call you real quick? And he goes, yeah. And I said, hey, I've got a question. I said, I get it. We got 2 kids in soccer. I understand. Work's busy. It's like, what the heck is RLI doing over there? They're taking all our members. They're working you guys too hard. I'm not sure what they're doing. But I said, if I could create an opportunity for you to still be a part of us, but you don't have to make the weekly meetings for the time being, you can come back in the future and still be a Rotarian. Would you do that? And he goes, well, what's the commitment? You know, I said, maybe like a meeting a month, but if you can't make it, you just don't make it. But you're still part of us. You're still a Rotarian. If you want to come, you're free on a Thursday, you can come to our meeting. You buy your lunch. And I know what the pushback's going to be. Well, what would make people not leave our club to go to them, to be a part of that? They're still part of us. At the end of the day, right? Our goal is to make our club bigger. If we can make our club bigger impact. So I think it's something that we really need to consider. I know that we've tried a satellite club in the past. I think this is different. I think the name alone is eye-popping. Because if you see the word impact or something like that, and I know that there's people that have left our club. I even asked Matt Chittick about it. He hasn't been here in a couple of years. We've got a hotel deal with him for the visiting teams. Hey, if you could do this, would you consider coming back? I understand that it's busy. Yeah, I would. So I think this is the opportunity, and this is the time we talk about vision and where we're going. This is where I think we need to think about this. And again, I know not everybody's going to get on board. But I think deep down, I think we need to do this. I think I went to that meeting at the last second, and I think there's a reason. You know, I'm not a big believer that things happen for a reason, but I think I just happened to look and I'm like, I'm gonna go check it out. I think this was the Rotary guys telling me this is an opportunity that you guys need to consider here. So this is something I want to look at for our club. I think it's a good opportunity to help grow our club and move us forward. And then the last one, let's have fun. You know, that's why I love this club. You know I get to come every week, and get to hang out with people, and we've had a lot of fun with our club. You know, I was going back through, we've got a lot of pictures on our Facebook page, by the way. It took a little while to go
Yep.
through those the last few days. Just looking back at what we've done as a club, and doing that. And I think about, I really wanted to put the one of Don standing on the chair with the Jenga, but it was too tall, so I couldn't fit it. But you know, we've had a lot of fun. We've done the golf outings. We did the tailgate in the parking. We've done all this stuff, the wine and cheese party. That's what I love about this club. Yes, we do a lot of things in the community, and we always will. We will continue to do that and do more. But you got to have fun while we're doing it. And that's what I look at this year. I want this to be a fun year. Let's get back to the pre-pandemic, because I remember the vibrancy that we had when we did a lot of this stuff. So this is listed number 4, but it's probably number 1 for me. I want to have fun. And I'm going to make mistakes, and you're not going to, and I'm going to do some things that people don't agree with, and that's fine. I'm still going to have fun doing it. So let's have fun this year. You know, that's a big thing for me. And then here's, if you guys need to contact me, I'm available. It says reach me anytime. Maybe not between the hours like 2 and 6 a.m., but I am available. I mean, you can reach out to me at those numbers. You know, if you want to talk Rotary, if you want to buy Chiefs tickets, you know, any of that stuff, you can reach out to me. But my door's open, and I you know, I'm here. I'm here for you guys. I'm here to serve this club. It's not about me. It is about everybody in this room, and what we can accomplish the next 12 months. And I'm excited. Now, everybody tells me, give it like 50 weeks and then you'll see how you feel. But I'm gonna rock and roll with it right now. And I think I'll still be excited in 52 weeks. And I don't know, Kelly or Ashley might have to push me off. People say I'm lying, but I'm excited. So again, let's have a fun year. I'm here. I'm excited for it. But if you guys, I'm still young at this. There's a lot of, you know, experience in this room. Share that with me, share that knowledge. I know a lot of people say that. I truly mean it. I love learning. I'm still trying to learn everything about what we've done in our club. And I don't remember everything. So reach out if you want to have coffee, if you want to meet before or after a meeting. I'm always available. I've actually kind of cleared my Thursdays, and just kind of said Thursdays are my day where I'm kind of off, so I can focus on being the president and taking care of our club. So, so that's kind of my plan, good, bad, or ugly. That's kind of where I see us going this year.